I had a lot of questions as how I ended up with that faith. Like, if my family didn't believe in God, would I? Would I take the time to find out who he was? Would I take the time to pick up a Bible and figure out what people were talking about? Or is it because my parents introduced it to me? And I mean, sure they did, but like, if my parents didn't do that and my friends believed in God at school, would I care? Or like, who would I hang out with and who would I be as a person if I didn't grow up in the family that I did? And so for a while, I kind of believed that my religion was forced upon me. Just a little bit, from that notion that my parents gave it to me. Because I thought that if my parents didn't do that, I wouldn't have done it. So I began coming to Oak Hills in middle school. And I went to Geneva at that time. And so all my friends came here on Saturday nights to be with like Joel Busby and all those cool people, and it was a really good time. And so I met a few of you then, but I really didn't get to know any of you really until around Christmas time of this year, and maybe like Thanksgiving. Because I go to school with Katie Gerber, and Cougar Pride, and so I'd spend the night at her house, and then in the morning I'd come to church, and that's when I started like really becoming involved with Refuge and who she was friends with, and like I started becoming friends with so many people in here and spending all my time with them, and I just absolutely loved it. Like, I fell in love with everyone here, and I look forward to spending all of my time here and all of my time at Refuge, and like, you all are seriously the best. So it was one Sunday that I brought my youngest sister Caroline to church with me, and because my parents go to a different church in Bernie, even though they're here this week, and Caroline came with me because she normally went to church with my parents, and she loved it. Like, I mean, she was like crying after the service. It was so amazing. And so that's when I knew that it wasn't just me. Like, there were so many exciting things going on here that I wanted to be able to share it with other people. And so Janice is in volleyball, and if you know anything about club sports, you have a tournament every weekend, like all the time. And so my parents were always going out of town with her on Saturday nights, and then they wouldn't be here Sunday morning. Well, on Sunday mornings, like, I didn't really realize that they weren't there. I just got up, like, got dressed without an alarm, and like was excited to go to church. And I didn't even realize it. Like, I was so excited to get here. I was always here really early at like 9:30 waiting for people to come, and that was just like the joy of my week. Like, that's what got me through, knowing that I could come to church on Sunday. And so that Sunday when I brought Caroline, I realized that I had been doing that all by myself. Like, my mom wasn't coming in to tell me to get up and it was time for church, like to wear that or not to wear that. Like, I was doing it because it's what I wanted to do. And it's not because my sisters were telling me to go, or because, I mean, like, I wanted to be here with friends, but like, I was doing it on my own. I could have easily slept in and my parents wouldn't have known. I could have said, yeah, I went to church, it was great, I learned about God, but I didn't. So one night I sat down with my parents and I talked about if they would be okay with me coming to church here, to a different church with them. And so I explained to them like how, like, all the things that we do in here and all the amazing times that we have together and how we all get so excited about God. And I mean, you all know what it's like in here, and you're just so motivated, and it impacts your week so much. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted this to be my church home and to grow up with you all, even though I only have a few months left. But my parents understood how excited I was to be here, and all the friends that I was with, and all the good things that this church has done for me. So we made the switch. I come here like every Sunday, and I come to Refuge with all the Clark and people, and I love it. And so I would say that I did have that aha moment. Like, that moment was that this was my church, and this is where I wanted to be, and not where my parents wanted to be. So I'm going to New York City in a few months for college, which is really far, but really cool. And 6 months ago, I could have easily said that I wouldn't have said it, but in my heart, I didn't care about going to church there. Like, I was going to New York City. There are so many cool things to do there. Why would I want to spend my time in a church on Sunday morning? Like, I want to sleep in after a Saturday party or whatever kids do in college. And so, like, I would have told you, like, yeah, I'll get a church. But right now, I'm so excited. Like, I know I'm not going to find something like this in New York. Hopefully a little bit close. But being with you all and like worshiping in here has given me that priority. And so all of this is to say that, like, I challenge you to figure out how personal your relationship with God is. Is it because your parents tell you to come here, or is it because you're getting something out of it and you want to get more out of it. I mean, it's great your parents bring you to church, but a lot of you drive now. I think most everyone in here does except for like the freshmen. And so like you could just go to Starbucks and hang out there for the 45 minutes and your parents probably wouldn't know. But like, you're here for a reason. And some of you still haven't found that and you like zone out during church, but one day God's gonna test you. Because at some point, that's not going to cut it. Like, you sitting here in church, you're going to give up, or like something's going to send you out of the church, and that's when it has to become a strong relationship. And it has to be yours and not anybody else's. And a lot of us like really like the people who we sit with, and like we go to school with them, and like we've come like really close to them at Refuge, but it makes such a huge difference when you claim it as your own, and not because your friends do it or because your family does it. And I definitely encourage you to grow and find that with your friends and with your family, but there comes a point where it's up to you. And I'm only 17, I'm not even 18 yet, and I feel like I've learned a lot, but there's so much more to learn. And the seniors think that, like, well, you grew up watching the seniors talk up here, and you think that they're, like, perfect. Like, I can't wait to be a senior like them. But once you're a senior, you're like, what? This is weird. Like, I'm not perfect, and I didn't learn all of that stuff, and, like, I still feel like I'm in 7th grade. It's weird. And I'm up here talking to you about what I've learned, but I hope that some of you can like understand what I'm going through, and you're probably going through the same thing. And if you have a lot of questions, ask them, because it's not good to hold them inside. And then you start answering your own questions, and it just becomes really confusing. So you have amazing people here like Brett and Dan who have answers, and like even the people sitting around you have answers. And they want to help you, and they want you to get through this and to find your own personal relationship with him. And so I would just say to like, take this opportunity with all of these cool, amazing people and grow with God and make it your relationship. Like, take that step to like read your Bible every day. I know Dan talks about that, but it's a real thing. Like, read it every day, because that's how you're going to get closer to him. And think about what you're going to do when you're in college. And it seems far away, but it's not. Like, you're going far away, and nobody's going to tell you to go to church. Like, that's up to you. So use the opportunity that you have in here with your friends and with your parents to be encouraged and to get excited about being here and learning about God. So, thank you.